From starring in blockbusters like The Mummy Trilogy, Looney Tunes Back in Action, and The Journey to the Center of the Earth, if you've seen the late 90s movies, chances are that you already know and love Fraser. But as we all know, at the start of the last decade, the star mysteriously disappeared from the big screen. From being the talk of the town to being completely forgotten, here's the story of what happened to Brendan Fraser. After being in the headlines again for his recently released blockbuster The Whale, netizens all over the world were over the moon for the Mummy star. According to them, it was heartwarming and nostalgic to see Fraser on the big screen after disappearing like that. But why did he disappear at the peak of his career? There was a time when Fraser was one of the top paid celebrities in Hollywood. Every big project wanted to be associated with him. Every brand wanted his face for representation. No one would have thought that a rising talent like him would be shunned from the starry world of Hollywood. But if you look at Fraser's resume, there's a huge gap, and it's not because of the pandemic. The downfall of Fraser's career started in 2003 at Beverly Hills Hostel when a well-known name in the industry crossed his limits. The Mummy star opened up in an interview with GQ magazine, "I felt ill. I felt like a little kid. I felt like there was a ball in my throat. I thought I was going to cry." After almost a decade, Fraser has found himself openly and comfortably speaking out about the traumatizing experience. You think that in an industry full of grown-ups, respecting someone's personal space would be the norm, but it turns out it's nothing like that. The 8-term past president of the group behind the Golden Globe Awards is the reason behind Brendan Fraser's disappearing from the big screen. Did they have a fight? An argument? Some financial dispute? No. What happened is even sadder and more painful. But Fraser isn't the only one who discussed this sensitive event in front of the media. The apparent villain of the story, Philip Burke, has written about it in his book as well. And the way he described it, one might think it was just a couple of buddies messing around. No one would assume that Philip's little joke would scar the Inkheart star for the rest of his life. It takes a lot of courage to even narrate such a heartbreaking event. According to Fraser's interview, Burke's left hand reaches around, grabs my ass cheek, and one of his fingers touches me in the taint, and he starts moving it around. On the other hand, the former president of the Hollywood Foreign Press Association mentioned that he just pinched Brendan's butt and it was nothing serious. But why did he send him an apology letter after claiming Fraser's allegation to be nothing but a fabrication of what actually happened? If he knew Fraser was lying, then why did he retract his statement and send the apology letter so quickly? Did he realize that a piece of news like that related to him would cost him his position on the Golden Globes committee? Well, he was right, because shortly later, Burke was kicked off the team. Of course, no one wants to be associated with a name like that, especially not during the time in Hollywood when people have been more confident than ever when it comes to talking about something as personal and traumatizing as sexual assault. Over the years, several cases of sexual assault in the industry have come forward, and every time someone tries to speak up, they look at what happened to the people who dared to demand justice before them. Terry Crews is another big name in the industry. You guys might remember him as Terry from the much-loved sitcom Brooklyn Nine-Nine. Crews also spoke up in Fraser's support and mentioned how he went through a traumatizing experience like the Airhead star. In a tweet, he said, "Brendan is amazingly courageous in telling this. His assault experience is extremely similar to mine," ending with the assailant explaining away his actions. One man's horseplay is another man's humiliation. Not only that, but everyone's favorite, Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, also publicly showed support for the Whale star, and honestly, good for him. He deserved all the support and appreciation for speaking up and putting himself out there again, in the same industry around the same people. After the painful and scarring experience, Fraser mentioned how his career went downhill. He spoke up immediately after the incident and got the apology letter, but was still blacklisted. His phone stopped ringing for casting calls. People knew what happened, they knew who was in the wrong, but no one acknowledged it until recently. The sexual assault, combined with Fraser's public divorce and mother's death, left him in the deep and never-ending pits of depression. The once captivating, muscular, and handsome man gained weight, lost hair, and walked around with apparent signs that he was at one of the worst points of his life. Not anymore, though. After Fraser made the huge step of coming back to the big screen, more and more people found out why he disappeared, and now the Mummy star is once again loved by the public. Along with a lot of support and love from the public, his latest project, The Whale, received a 6-minute long standing ovation at the Venice International Film Festival. and the fans are already seeing Fraser as worthy of an Oscar. Click on one of these two videos on your screen right now. We'll catch you guys in the next one.